Welcome to the grimmest episode of Indie 5 on Rauta. The grimmest because none of these albums I'm going to present you here are in fact good. On the contrary, some of them are really bad, like the worst on Rauta thus far. So without further ado, let's get into it, and as always, in alphabetical order. Now, the first band I'm going to present you here is a CDR, Pro CDR that is, released from a Belgian band called Beheritvras, like Beherit, but, well, Beheritvras, God Worshipping Blasphemic Metal, and as you can pretty much figure out from the skulls, goat heads, chalice and all that stuff, candles, this is black metal. It's very primitive, it's limited edition, limited to 80 it seems, and well, there's all the information basically. Other than that, it's just CDR and this very minimal design backside. Everything is good so far, but unfortunately this music is crap. Now, where to start from? Riffs, really poor. It's like this is a parody of grim, primitive black metal. Production, even crappier than this. One of the worst productions I've ever heard. The sounds are pretty much like this, and I'm now just, emulating drum sounds, so you get the idea. And there you go. This is as great drum sounds as you can get this. I don't know what the hell was going on with the band or even label. Sorry you guys, I know you're doing your best and all that stuff, but this sounds horrible, and not horrible like in a horror death metal or grim raw black metal when it's really good, but this is something really bad. The riffs are horrible, the production is horrible, or even more than that, and the vocals are just like, are you joking with me? I mean, my dogs could do better than this, even my kid could do better than this. It's just like I said, a parody. I mean, even typical one-handed, half blind, half deaf, teethless teenager from any country could do better than this. This is one of the worst recordings I've ever heard. Yeah, it might be grim and it might be primitive, but at least handle your instruments before you start doing your music. It's just waste of time, totally waste of time. I'm just getting mad even think about this album. Just totally waste of my time. So the next one is Demise from Australia. And people know bands like Destroyer 666 when we're talking about the extreme metal from Australia. And basically Demise is roughly in the same genre. That is this kind of a melodic death thrash hybrid with nice elements here and there. And well, Demise is basically tapping the same vein here. If I remember correctly, founded in 2005, this is their second album, also a CDR, but very pro, very nice covers and all that stuff. And the guys are doing their music pretty decent, yes, and they have all these nice elements, not so much as black metal basically, but more like melodic death thrash. And basically, theoretically speaking, everything is just nice there, but the songs are kind of lacking the kind of a hookiness, the kind of those catchy riffs and memorable songs which would, separate the sheep from the wolves. And unfortunately, as much as I tried to like Demise because they have nice ideas and the production is pretty good, I gotta tell you, everything is just almost there. It's like a chick, which is almost good looking, and you're probably, if I was drunk, I would go hit on her, but since I'm sober, not. And same thing happens with Demise. It's almost good. It's maybe worth your listening time. I cannot tell because I don't know, obviously, your music taste. But for me, it's just lacking the magic ingredient, which once again separates the good from the rest. Better than mediocre, but not really good. Too bad. Close but no cigar. The next one is from Lapland, part of Finland, from a city known as Pello, a small place. And this is a homestyle surgery in trauma gallery. At first I was obviously thinking of a death metal band or death grind band in the vein of Caucus and whatnot, but so clueless I was because this is in fact old school thrash metal. And in many ways very decent. I mean, everything is just, the way it was supposed to be, kind of 80s vibe. the melodies, the riffs, even the vocals are something that is very much typical to kind of American thrash metal. So kind of like groovy and nicely going, and these guys have certainly listened to lots of albums from the genre. They have the energy, they have the understanding how riffs in melodic thrash work. So basically everything is there. But pretty much like Grim Demise, the band has kind of lost the path along the way. Also, the songs are pretty kind of like too lengthy for their own good. Instead of having like this 3 to 5 minute kind of a punches and energetic in your face kind of thing, it seems like these guys are wandering too much for too mediocre riffs here and there, and the outcome is like not boring, but in fact not very good either. Kind of a mediocre album with some good ideas here and there. So I kind of feel like this band's potent, to become something greater. But for this album, Trauma Gallery here, it seems like these guys are like, they have the drive, they have the ideas, but it's still like a little bit boring album in a way. Melodic, old schoolish thrash, decent, but not really good. Now, number 4 is a band called Subduer from the Tanglehide Productions, called Death Monolith. This is a mini CD, and looking also very grim. Kind of becomes quite clear what this album is all about. So it's all about chaos, violence, war, whatnot. I don't know, but this music and this feeling that the CD is giving me is kind of a war metal thing with like bands like Blasphemy, obviously, and all that. Not just because of this view here, the looks, but also because it's very fast tempo and kind of a combination of death black metal. Well, it might be good if it was so noisy, but I know Subduer is one of an kind of a acquired taste, that is kind of a music in which the noise part is very important, kind of a mixture of not only death and black metal, but also this kind of noise core. So lots of effects with vocals, tempo is fast, and it's kind of like rushing towards you. The downside is those riffs are kind of a cheap ass punk riffs in so many ways. It's like it was masked in this kind of a noisy war-like feeling, lots of aggression and lots of this kind of overwhelming volume and all that stuff. While in the end, if we just remove the kind of outer elements, it feels like these guys are operating with very simple, very kind of boring punk riffs in so many ways. So certainly there is a lot of death and black metal elements, yeah, and lots of aggression, but like I said, the actual songs, not to mention the riffs, they are not this band's strong suit. So to me it feels like a little bit of kind of a gimmick band, or at least a gimmick release. So while I can understand why this might be a great appeal to some people, because it is so overwhelmingly aggressive and all that stuff, but as an album, or well, mini CD, EP, it's like letting me down, because it gets quite boring after a while. And what can I say? No cigar, mediocre in my opinion, but well, like I said, an acquired taste album. Now to number 5, which is also pretty much like the number 1, also released by same Beyond Andromeda records. This one's called Unholy Desolation, kind of a two-man band, which, if I understood correctly, with some guests. A nice cover, by the way, even though the logo is ugly and name is kind of forgettable. This skull with Magadry image is something I like. Limited to 100 copies, it seems. Also a Pro CDR, so very simple in design, just this 2-page cover booklet, and here's the band lineup. I don't know if, I'm not sure if there's actually 3 members or 2 plus guests, but who gives a damn anyway. So here's the track list. And pretty much the same problems with Beheritvras is that this is some cheap ass black metal album. I mean, everything from riffs to production and vocals are, again, like parody to me. This could be basically the same band, just a little bit different production, because all the songs are really, really crappy. It almost makes me laugh, and if it wouldn't, it probably would make myself cry. And everything, the sound problems are also pretty much the same. It's like I'm just, clapping my thighs here, and I get the better drum sounds than on this album. And also the sound varies from song to song, because this is made of different recording sessions, and it seems nobody gave a damn mixing this album. Not to mention kind of a mastering, the volume levels and all that stuff. Vocals are kind of feral, but I mean, 99 out of 100 growlers / shriekers or screamers would do at least the same level or better stuff here. So I don't know, it seems like their weakest link is on every instrument, be it guitars, vocals, whatnot, and then the drums are like, come on, these are like some crappy machine-made drums, and just makes me wonder, who the hell wants to do music like this? I mean, are you deaf to your own music? And secondly, why on earth this one was released by a label? It seems we're totally on a different page. I'm sorry, because these guys from the label seem really nice. They probably are, but maybe are not my friends after this one, because they sent me 2 CDs and I totally hated both of these. I mean, I'm not the Justin Bieber or any of that pop crap plastic music fan, but I'd rather listen to that one than these 2 CDs, Beheritvras and Unholy Desolation. These are just horrible, horrible, horrible albums. And no, I shouldn't be boasting with my figures and numbers and all that stuff, but being reviewed almost 5,000 releases in past 16 years, these 2 are among the worst I've ever witnessed. They might be ending in my bottom 3 list. And they are so goddamn crap that I just, I even thought I shouldn't give them any coverage. But then again, then I would be just, I wouldn't be man of my words, because I promised to review these 2 releases. And as much as I hated them from the very beginning, I just had to bite the bullet and keep them all like few spins, like I always do, and then write my review both for Imperium and for Rauta. And I am just sorry for these guys. I mean, figure out your instruments, figure out your vocals, and for the label, please, some quality control. I usually don't have to tell that to labels. I mean, there are lots of labels who would release all kind of crap, but also some decent stuff. But these are not decent, these are not even mediocre, these are just uber crap. So, none of these releases on this video wasn't exactly good. Mediocre plus, at best like grim Demise, and the rest, please just piss off. Oh, this is a Rauta. Next time I hope I will deliver you some better albums. See you soon and bye bye.